Hello, online pipe community. Ethan, Parsimonious Piper here. It is Cobb Tuesday. Missed it last week. Got my Cobb Tuesday cob. Missouri Meerschaum Danish spool. Got my Cobb Tuesday hat. In my Cobb Tuesday cob, I have got some Peter Stokeby Amsterdam 83. This is a wonderful cob blend. Kentucky forward, some Virginias in there. Tasty. It's dry, close to a shag cut. Pack it tight. Otherwise, it'll burn fast and you only get 5 minutes out of a bowl. Pack it good and tight. It's one of the few exceptions. Tasty, tasty stuff. Well, I missed out last week on answering one of Chad Yardism's questions. So I'm going to do it even though it's late. He wanted to know, and he thought maybe this was a boring question. I didn't, because I'm fascinated by what people would ideally have loved to have done in response to this question. He said, if you had world-class athletic ability, what Olympic sport would you compete in? I don't think that's boring at all. I think he did, in fact, use the word Olympic sport, that term, instead of Olympic event. And so that automatically disqualifies, in my opinion, anything that requires a judge or panel of judges for you to win. Those do require athletic ability and unbelievable years of training. For example, look at the men's gymnastics. Those guys are studs. I mean, anybody who can sit there and do an iron cross upside down for, they sit there and hold that for like 30 minutes, it seems like. Those guys are serious studs. But they're requiring a judge to determine how many points they get. I'm sorry. To me, that's not a sport. Is it difficult? Absolutely. Is it something I can do? Not on your life. Is it a sport? I have trouble with that. I think a sport is something where it's you or you and a team, either against a clock, against another team, something like that, but where just a raw subjective judgment is not necessary for you to win. Now, as a kid in Germany, tell you what, there was one category of Olympic events that just fascinated me, and that was downhill skiing. I gotta tell you, some of the legends, the German legends, like Max Rieger and Franz Vogler, those guys were already old by the time I started watching downhill skiing and paying attention to it as a kid over there. But there were some young guys coming up. Sepp Wildgruber, for example. He was just an up-and-coming teenager when I was a kid. And man, it was so exciting watching those guys. I had these fantasies about, doing 110 miles an hour down the Zugspitze. I did as a kid get to ski the Olympic downhill in St. Johann in Austria. And that was fun, but the nannies that they had watching over us in our ski school wouldn't let us just aim it downhill and go. I think they wanted to keep us alive for our parents in the afternoon. But I fantasized about being able to do, that 100-mile-an-hour blast just on a downhill tear. Those guys, Those guys have got some serious luggage. um, and I've been fascinated by that ever since. When I was in, like I said, through college, I still skied. Have not done that since our honeymoon. Have not skied in 30 years, and my knees would kill me to do downhill skiing right now without having done some serious weight training for months beforehand at this point. But there you have it. There's my fantasy, man. That's what I would compete in, is that downhill, just balls to the wall speed. Those guys, man, they're awesome. Well, I've been talking too much. Gone out. Gonna have to get relit. Y'all, I liked some of y'all's responses. Some of you haven't responded yet. It's not too late to answer a question like this. Let us know, what would you have competed in? With that, light something you like. Enjoy your afternoon.